That's what I would do.
I
wouldn't let anything stop me from having a baby. Especially if I can pay, as long as I'm paying cash for it. Absolutely, Ken.
Yep. I agree. And Candace, let me say that my wife Stacey and I went through 7 years of infertility. So I just want to kind of speak to your heart here and say that you're going to be a mama. I believe that. I don't know how, and I do not know when. But I understand what you guys are going through, certainly from a male perspective. I do not understand the female perspective, but walked through that with Stacey. And I know this is a tough time, and I agree wholeheartedly with Jade. This is your process. I don't want you to go into debt. Do everything possible to not go one penny into debt. But yes, I would absolutely pursue this.
Do you know what it's going to cost? Have you been able to research that a little bit?
Yeah, so it looks like each round of IUI is going to be about $1,000.
Okay.
And then if we end up being, if we don't find success and we go through IVF route, my out-of-pocket will be like $15,000.
Okay.
And do you feel confident that you guys can cash flow that?
I mean, I know we can the $1,000. The 15 is what really scares me. And I'm want to plan for the worst case scenario.
Well, so let me interrupt for just a second because
sure.
I don't want you to misunderstand what Jade and I are saying. Yes, we want you to do this, but when you're going, I'm scared, then I would compile the 15 before I start this. I would not go down this route where your heart's going to go, we're going to the next level, and then we get there and we have nothing. That is so detrimental. And so I would be sitting down at the kitchen table tonight, Jade.
Yes.
And I'd be going, what must we do to scrape everything but steal $15,000?
I'm looking for what I can sell. I'm looking for what we can. I mean, I'm sure you've got a good amount of margin already because you've been doing the debt snowball. What's your margin every month?
We have about $3,000 every month.
Okay, so
if we're really
in 5 months,
when we're really strong, in 5 months, no.
If you were to side hustle, can you get this in 6 months, 5 months? If you were to add a little to that,
yeah, probably. I've been working on a side hustle that I started a couple months ago, but it's slow going.
No. So this is let me tell you what I mean by side hustle and what Jade means. We don't mean start your own little business. This is a side job, part time. You are going and you are stocking groceries at the grocery store for $16 an hour.
I want $20 an hour, Ken.
Well, yeah, I'm just giving an example. Go get you what you can get. I don't want to hang the grocery job on you. I'm saying that with the margin that Jade found for you guys. And I heard you say, well, $3,000 a month if we're really, really disciplined. I don't know what else is going to make you more disciplined than trying to get a baby.
Yeah.
And so this is serious business. You cannot
the thing
allow.
That I think is going to put a dent in it is student loans starting next month.
Coming back.
But that's reality.
And let's talk about that. We're going to talk about, keep listening because we're going to talk about student loans, and I'm going to talk about some things that I think are going to help you. It's not for this call right now, but keep listening. And I would, if you guys are to a bare bones budget now, you got $3,000 of margin, great. I think each of you and your husband can find another $1,000 a month. I think you can.
I know you can.
And it is going to require a lot of work. But again, if you can do that, it's 5 or 6 months of work. It's half a year. And then you can go into these treatments feeling confident that, okay, now I hope the $1,000 thing works for you and you don't even have to go that next route. But if you do, you'll have the peace of knowing, hey, we've got the cash here. We won't be making an emotional decision and we're fully prepared for it.
Yeah. You cannot, Candace, you cannot allow the thought to enter your mind that we'll just borrow it. You don't want that. You can do this. No. By the way, you and your husband have been very patient. There's very few things harder than waiting on a baby.
Yeah.
And that tells me you guys can wait long enough, and it shouldn't be very long, to come up with 15 cash, put it aside, and that's if we need to get it. We're hoping that the other treatments work. And let me also say this. Candace, I want the best. I'm hoping the best. But there's no guarantee that any of this stuff works.
Absolutely.
And so your mindset has to be, I have to make good decisions in the now that don't hurt me in the next. Because the last thing you want is a bunch of debt on something that didn't work. Yikes. You know what I mean? I don't want to be grieving, Jade, and then paying on something I'm grieving.
Yeah, that's tough. Well, I, for one, am believing that this is gonna.
I am too.
No, I know you are, but I wanted to end it on that.
I know
that upbeat.
But I feel like we have to say that though because debt sucks enough.
Oh,
but then when it's tied to something that hurts,
it turns a blessing. That was a blessing to a burden.
Yeah, and we don't want that.
Yeah.
Let's go to Beth now in Los Angeles. Beth, how can Jade and I help?
Hi. Okay. So I have a question. We're on baby step 2. I am selling everything. I've got 2 Facebook Marketplace meetups today because I am trying to get my debt paid off.
Come on, girl.
The loan is coming. So I am trying. I have a question. I filled out my public loan service loan forgiveness. I have $89,000 in student loan debt. One of them is $48,000. And then I have 2 at $20,500. The $48,000 one, I have 41 payments left in order for me to qualify for public service loan forgiveness.
So 4 years?
My question so 4 years, basically 3 years and 6 months. My question is when I do the every dollar, it says track your debt snowball, correct?
Uh-huh.
So I have a car loan for $5,000, and then I have 2 student loans at $20,500. And then I have this one at $48,000.
Okay.
That would be the last one I'll pay off. If I make the minimum payments, just kind of per Dave Ramsey's Every Dollar app right now, I'm at 6 years from my payoff date. My question is should I still just work on the minimum monthly payments for my $48,000? And since the public loan forgiveness should forgive it in almost 4 years?
What I would do, I would not focus on the loan forgiveness because I think you can do this faster than what you think. So we've got, let's see, 80,000 plus the car. How much are you earning every month?
So we're at $10,000 every month.
Okay.
When I break everything down, I can make on loan payments about $1,500 is I can throw towards my monthly payments.
What are you paying a month? What are you paying a month for rent?
$3,400.
All right, your rent's too high. You're spending way too much. We need to find a way to get this rent down. I don't know if it's just you. It sounds like there's somebody else there. And I think you can do this faster. I would never wait around for forgiveness. You need to side hustle. Whoever's working with you on this, if it's a spouse, they need to get on board and let's get this paid off quickly. I'm not waiting around 4 years, Ken Coleman.
No. And I wouldn't guarantee that it's going to get forgiven anyway.
That's right,
We got to
2%.
stop waiting on this. Go ahead, follow the baby steps. The debt snowball. That's the plan. Mm-hmm. No deviation. This is The Ramsey Show.
Hey, if you're in over your head with student loans and tired of getting calls from collection agencies, if private student loan debt is taking away your financial peace and you don't see any way out, you need Y Refi. They're not a debt settlement company and they're not connected to a bank. Y Refi refinances defaulted private student loans that other places won't touch and gives you a custom loan built for you based on your ability to pay. So when you refinance your private student loan debt with Y Refi, you'll have a payment you can afford with a low fixed interest rate you couldn't get anywhere else to help you stick to your budget and work the debt snowball. And you can save thousands of dollars. To learn more about this custom refinancing option and a lump sum payoff option you could qualify for after 24 months, call 844-2-RAMSEY or go to yrefi.com/Ramsey.
Welcome back to The Ramsey Show, where we talk with you about your life, specifically your money, your work, and your relationships. I'm Ken Coleman, joined by Jade Warshaw this hour, 888-825-5225, 888-825-5225 is the number to jump in. Let's go to Grand Island, Nebraska, where Matt is. Matt, how can we help?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
You bet. What's up?
Hey, just a quick question, and Ken, I guess this is more in your wheelhouse here. I'm currently working for a company that I've been with for around 5 years now, and I feel like, compared to other people in my industry, I feel like I'm, I guess, inadequately paid. I was just wondering, with an eval coming up here in about a couple of weeks, I was wondering how the best way is to ask for a raise.
Yeah, okay. Let's go to what you said there. You feel like you're inadequately paid. Is that feeling based on any kind of fact?
Yeah. So I work in the ag industry, and kind of related to my job, I know other people are making probably $30,000 more than me.
Similar skill, similar experience?
I'd say for them it'd be less work, but maybe more year-round type stuff. Like, I'm paid a salary, obviously, but summers and springs and falls are more labor-intensive than like winters, because it is the ag industry. So when crops aren't growing, not a lot to do.
Well, okay, and I don't want to get in the weeds here, but why I'm asking about similar skill and experiences is if you can actually walk in, and that's what I'm trying to get you to, is walk in and go, look, I did some research, and based on the market, and that's, again, using that term as if I look at high, medium, and low on the range of salary or hourly pay, because it's all the same basic deal for you in this situation, where are you with those people that are making much more than you? So are you middle? Are you low? Are you, and then is the experience and the skill set very similar to where you could go, based on this, it looks as though I could make this in the marketplace. I want to start there. So I want to make sure we get this. Do you feel like you've got the evidence, real fact-based evidence that you could show on paper with real sources that you are underpaid?
Yes. So I have some friends that do in the same industry, do something different, and they have told me, and I've actually kind of looked into some other things, saying that that kind of backs up what I've.
When was the last time you got a raise? If you've been there 5 years.
So it's every year, but it's only for the past 5 years I've been there. Total, I've probably got like a 15% raise since I started, which I started and it wasn't.
Okay, so you're getting about the 3% raise, which is pretty standard. A 3% bump every year, so that's what you're getting. And so, what would this equate to? If you got the bump that you want, how much of a bump would it be percentage-wise?
I've run the numbers, and so I guess without getting too deep into it, we get paid based on like how much we bring in, essentially. And
is that a commission job?
The more you bring in. No, it's more of a revenue based, or like certain goals, and then you get like a certain percentage. Okay. If that makes sense.
It does.
So I guess it's sitting with some other people in our company that have kind of helped me out with this coming up, or eval coming up. They said that kind of shoot for the stars and ask for like a 60 to 50% raise, just to see what they would do there. But
all right, so here's my advice. Okay, and you can take what you like of this, and you can leave what you don't like. I always tell people, don't come in and just say, I want a raise. I just think that coming in and dropping it like that just always creates a situation where your leader could feel very defensive, and they're trying to, how do I answer that? They want to have time to figure that out. So what I would come in and say, I would just say this. Over the last 5 years at these evals, I'm getting the 3% bump. It's come to my attention. I've done the research. I've got friends and people that work at other organizations. Don't mention anybody internally. Just like, this is what I've seen out there in the marketplace, and I want to get there. And so the question is, can we come to some sort of agreement on how I can get there? I'd like to get there now. But I also know that you've got to measure my performance. I just don't want to make demands. I want to make a request. Do you see the difference?
Yes.
And I want to say, I've done the research, and the marketplace says I could make this. I'd like to make that here. What has to be true for that to happen? And leave it in his or her lap on that. Don't just go in and demand it. Say, what has to be true for me to get there because I want to get there. And so they're going to automatically know that you've done your homework and that you see a much better opportunity out there. And so you're going to find out pretty quickly whether or not they want you there and what they're willing to do. And I think that is going to force the conversation without demanding it. So yes, ask for it, but not directly. It's an indirect ask to go, I want to be making this. How realistic is that here? And if it's realistic, what do I have to do? Those are the two specific questions. And then you know where you stand.
Exactly. I think the way you approach this is everything. Having the facts, having the information, the tone, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
All that matters.
Yep.
And now you've got a great spirit about you, so I don't in any way see you going in there,
absolutely,
sliding a paper across the desk going, I'd like you to respond to that.
That's the old school way.
Yeah.
Slide the number.
Does that help?
Yes, it helps a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, but the facts, listen, the facts when it comes to this kind of thing. And tell people, this is what I'd like. Mm-hmm. And I'd like to know, is it possible? There was a two-part question there. And then what must happen for this to be possible? Then you're going to find out really fast. You get a gray answer, and they go, but I'll get back to you. And they never get back to you. There's your sign.
That's so good, Ken. That's such good advice. So many people go into that conversation based on the way they feel.
Oh, yes.
And not only that, but what they feel they're entitled to.
Yeah. Yeah. And by the way, you might be right, but that doesn't mean that the boss thinks that you're right.
True that.
So you've got to bring them along. And I'm a little bit nervous about the advice he got from his coworkers, because he's gotten a 3% bump for 5 straight years, and they're telling him, hey, shoot for the moon. Okay, what's that? Ask for a 50% raise. Well, if you can't document that that's reasonable, here's what you do. Your genius coworkers told you to shoot for the moon. You just shot yourself in the foot.
Yeah, you did. You did.
So come on. Really? 50%?
That's a lot.
That's a big hike.
Unless you could show how you have doubled, the revenue that you've created for that company.
Yikes.
Something like that. It's like, otherwise
I think of a sports metaphor here. And this is really important because this is an issue that always gets controversy when I get asked and it's on social media. But if let's take football. Football season's about ready to start, okay? And let's say you're a 2 or 3 year running back. You've had a couple of good years. You didn't lead the league. You weren't an all-pro. You're a good running back. Mm-hmm. And you don't like your contract situation. Mm-hmm. And you and your agent go in there and you start demanding, I want this, this, and this. Well, guess what they're going to do? If you ask for an outrageous salary that is not at the market value of an NFL running back that is in your position, guess what they're going to say?
They're going to say, I can find a guy that does it just like you.
I just drafted a kid.
Money.
I just drafted a kid that may be as good as you, and I have to pay him the league minimum.
Okay.
And that's where you shoot yourself in the foot by overplaying a hand like you've got aces and you got, let's call it 4-6, not even suited. You like that poker analogy?
I like that, Ken. Good job.
So a lot of people, just because I feel like I want to make more money, doesn't mean that I've got a strong case to make more money. Mm-hmm. And feelings will get you in trouble fast.
Yeah. And there's always that thing is there somebody standing right behind you that does the job just as good as you that would be happy with that salary?
Promise you. You know what they'll do? They'll go to somebody and go, listen, I'm going to give you a nice little bump to take half their workload just for about 6 months. I promise you, your coworker's going to be like, bye.
See ya.
Bye. What's that song?
Bye,
is that
Felicia.
Is that it? That's it. What's that? Is there an NSYNC song?
Friday.
Bye, bye, bye. Is that NSYNC?
Oh, bye, bye, bye.
There it is. See, when you co-host with Jade Warshaw, you tee her up and she sings a bar for you.
I'm always ready.
And sings it well. She's Jade. I'm Ken. This is The Ramsey Show.
Hey guys, being free to make your own medical decisions is a big deal these days. Christian Healthcare Ministries gives members the freedom to choose the doctors and providers they want without the frustration of worrying about networks and with no waiting period to join. It's a membership-based nonprofit ministry where hundreds of thousands of Christians share funds to pay for and pray for each other's medical bills. For over 40 years, CHM has helped families living across all 50 states. So see if CHM could be right for your family. Check out more today at chministries.org/budget.
Welcome back to the Ramsey Show, where we talk with you about your life, specifically your money, your work, and your relationships. I'm Ken Coleman. Jade Warshaw joins me, and we're here for you. 888-825-5225 is the number. 888-825-5225. And if you're new to the program, and Jay, this is exciting. We were in a meeting recently where we're hearing about just a lot of new people coming to us from all over the place, every platform, radio, Sirius XM, podcast, YouTube. It's extraordinary. And so we want to welcome you. But we also know we've got this jargon. We got this language like baby steps, gazelle intense, baby step 6, baby step 2, dead snowball, a lot of stuff. And you're going, okay, I'm trying to catch up.
Right.
So we'd love to invite you to go to our website, RamseySolutions.com, and we have a wonderful little get started assessment. It takes just a couple of minutes, and it'll kind of get you caught up to where you are in your finances and help you understand, oh, I get the steps now. I see where I am, and I see what I've got to do. So go to RamseySolutions.com and click on Get Started, and that'll catch you up pretty quickly, and we got a lot of great resources for you. Let's go to the phones. Tampa, Florida is where Patrick is. Patrick, how can we help?
Hey guys, thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, you bet. What's up?
So last night, me and my wife sat down to a meeting with our financial advisor, and it was in regards to options for saving for college. We already have a 529 for my youngest daughter, and my oldest daughter has a prepaid plan that her grandfather paid for years ago when she was born. So last night, the financial advisor tried to sell us on a whole life insurance, a whole life insurance plan as an option for saving for my youngest daughter's college.
Red flag.
Now, obviously, yeah, huge red flag, right? Okay, all right, so I'm not crazy. Thank you.
No, you know what I need? I need a yellow flag like the NFL refs, and I just throw it at the camera when I hear stuff like that.
Let's go, Ken.
I wish I had one.
I like that.
Tell him why that's crazy, Jade.
It's such a bad product financially, and you have the ability to lose so much money on the investment side. I can't imagine any investment advisor worth their salt suggesting that, unless they're just trying to get more commission out of you, and that's honestly what's happening in this case.
100, as the kids say.
Who is this?
Yes.
Who is this guy? Is this somebody you knew before? Is this an uncle? Is this,
No,
you can just drop him like it's hot then.
So we were very interested in biblically responsible investing. If I'm saying that right?
Yeah.
BRI. And we went through, I'm going to drop names, Inspire Insight, and he was a financial advisor that works with them that contacted us, and we just agreed, like, hey, this guy sounds good. We're on baby step 7. We're doing great. So let's just go with this guy. And you don't even
need
a red flag last night,
Patrick, first of all, as Jade said, it's bad, and we have a very clear positions on the whole life, which she can explain to our audience if necessary. But let me tell you something, you don't even need it based on what you laid out. You guys have already got your 529 set up, and now it's just play the plan. You don't need it.
Yeah. We were just looking for options because the 529 through Florida prepaid doesn't offer BRI options, so that's the only reason we were looking and asking him. So,
okay, so let me kind of make sure I understand this, because I'm not really sure what the 529 has anything to do with your life insurance.
Right.
For me, it has zero to do with it.
So,
because for you and for anybody listening, the purpose of life insurance is to replace your income. For anybody who's dependent on your income, that's the only reason for it. And many people get to a point with their net worth that they don't even really need it anymore, because if they were to pass away, there's enough there to take care of anybody who would have been dependent on that income. So on that note, the two are not related. I still would suggest, unless you've got a super high net worth that we don't know about, I would still suggest that you go with a term life plan. Do you understand why we're suggesting that?
Oh, yeah, totally. Okay. And we have term life plans. And really, maybe my ultimate question is, should I be looking for another financial advisor?
Yeah.
I would. I don't like when people try to take me for a ride. That's my thing. Like, he was assuming that you didn't understand. And so he tried to play you, and I don't like that. And you came in the way you should with your own set of knowledge, understanding things, and you were able to go, hey, this is a red flag. Now, for me, that would be enough for me to move on. It really would. You could bring it to him and say, hey, here's why I don't want to do this. And you could lay it out and say, I don't like this cash value thing. I don't like the investment. I don't like the fact that I can get a better rate of return if I invest that same sum of money myself. I don't like the fact that when I die, someone else gets the cash value, or that, the company keeps the cash value. If you say it to him like that, and I don't like the fact that you sold me a product that's worse for me so you could get a better commission. I just like confrontation, so I might just like to have that conversation just to see how he'd react. But if he says anything less than, I am so sorry, I don't know what I was thinking, maybe you could try to pick up the pieces, but I'd probably just move on.
Yeah. It's like trying to argue with somebody in a cult. It ain't going to win. I'm serious. You're not going to win. So I agree with Jay, but I would move on.
Yeah,
and
he
my
tried
friend,
to make money off you.
Let's be very clear. Let's invest in things that are specific to what we need. And you've already got the 529s ready to go. You've got your insurance. You don't need whole life. Yeah. And this BRI thing also freaks me out a little bit. There's nothing in the Bible about whole life insurance. So let's be very careful.
I want you to hop on with Ramsey, with one of our providers.
Talk to several SmartVestor pros in your area.
Yeah. We've
interview them.
Exactly. And that's the key. Interview these folks. I'm not just talking to our caller. Anybody who's out there, these people are working for you. We can't tiptoe around them scared to ask questions and scared to put them on the spot. You're giving them a percentage. You're paying them. They in essence, you are their employee because you're providing work for them and you're paying them for their service. And so interview them and don't be afraid to be like hard pass.
Yeah. And listen, you cannot invest in anything that you do not understand.
That's a fact.
You can't take their word for it. You've got to know it. In this case, to Patrick's credit, he's like, he did know it. Whole life stinks. It smells. I don't like it. And I do think you need to be with someone that you're aligned with.
You should. And what I commend him on is sometimes when we get in a situation with people who are good at math, right? They're good with money. We start questioning. We just have that imposter syndrome and assume they know more than us. Yeah. But your instinct does count for something. Yeah, and when you're talking with someone and you get that feeling of like, ooh, I didn't like that.
The spidey sense.
Yeah, the spidey sense goes off, You get the heebie-jeebies.
Oh, that's a good one. I've had a case of the heebie-jeebies a time or two.
Hopefully I didn't give them to you.
But, no, never. But, you're right. You just don't have a peace about it.
You don't have peace. Yep.
And it's like, okay, what's happening here and why is it happening?
Yeah, that doesn't feel right. Yeah. And when that happens, stop and do what our guy did and either talk to your spouse, call into the show. And if you don't get peace, then move on.
Yeah. And by the way, we need to be clear. When we talk about SmartVestor pros, they are not employees of this company.
No, they don't work for us.
They are independent financial advisors that are very, very good. They are in alignment with a philosophy. Mm-hmm. But if you go to RamseySolutions.com, and we really recommend this, click on the SmartVestor Pro button, talk to a few, go meet with them. It's kind of like picking your hairdresser or your dentist.
That's good, Ken.
You know what I mean? It's kind of be like, I'm not going to let anybody put their hands in my mouth.
Yeah, they're going to be all up in your stuff. You better make sure you trust them.
Yeah, and to your point, you said something earlier. They shouldn't be selling you on something that makes them a nice commission. They should be helping you make money, and because you make money, they make money.
Bingo.
Big difference.
That's a big difference.
And that's what we're saying. That's why we don't like whole life. It is not a good by-the-numbers program. It does not benefit you.
That's right. You're paying a larger amount per month because that money is being split over two areas. You're getting your death benefit, but there's also a portion of your payment that's being invested over time. Yep. That's a cash benefit, right? But the problem there is the money that's being invested, the rate of return on that, guys, is so poor. Sometimes it's like 2%, Ken. Ugh. 2%. Oh, you better invest that money yourself.
The only thing I like that's 2% is a glass of milk.
No, Ken. I'm not with you on that.
It's because you're a clean, healthy eater.
That's right.
But for people like me that like to live a little bit.
Give me the cashew milk, Ken.
Say, Jay, you ain't having no fun drinking cashew milk. I promise you right now. I'm having fun. when I dunk my Oreo into some real milk. All right. We'll fight about that on the break. She's Jade Warshaw. I'm Ken Coleman. This is The Ramsey Show. Hey, it's Ken. If you love the show and want a deeper dive on your money journey, we have a weekly newsletter that gives you trending and helpful articles and tips on following the Ramsey way. Go to RamseySolutions.com today to sign up for our newsletter. Again, that's RamseySolutions.com to sign up for our weekly newsletter. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studio, this is The Ramsey Show. It's where we help you win in your life, specifically with your money, in your work, and in your relationships. I'm Ken Coleman. I'm joined by Jade Warshaw, the fabulous Jade Warshaw joins me in the studio today. 888-825-5225, 888-825-5225. Jade is your money expert. She'll walk you through all things baby steps. She's got a great personal story. She understands every angle of this game. So make the phone call. I'm here to help on your work life. You can't talk about money and not at least be thinking about work. As Dave Ramsey has said for decades, your income is your greatest wealth building tool, and I'm here to help you there. Do I need to make a transition? Do I need to get promoted? Do I start the side hustle? That is my game, and so we do that together, and we're excited to be together. Let's go now to Salt Lake City, Utah, where Brittany is on the line. Brittany, how can we help?
Hi, thank you so much for taking my call.
You bet. What's up, Brittany?
Yeah, so my husband, his truck payment is almost as much as our mortgage.
And oh, boy. Hold on. Let me get the Pepsi AC out.
How much are we talking about, Brittany?
So it's right over $1,400.
Oh,
wow.
Oh, boy. I'm feeling faint,
Ooh.
Jade. I'm fainting.
I went into James Brown mode. Wow. Goodness gracious.
Yeah. So
Yes.
we have Total Money Makeover. We're currently about to start Financial Peace University. She understands why we don't use credit cards and all that. But when it comes to his truck, he says, I work hard. I deserve a nice truck. But I'm just trying to figure out if there's some magic words that I can say, and that will
I got the magic words. I got the magic words. You're sleeping on the couch.
Hey, okay.
Oh, watch out. No, I'm sorry. That's probably not the best marital advice. But I do think, Jade, at this point, we've got a serious conversation. He can't be taking the baby steps seriously and justifying a $1,400 truck payment.
I mean, I just want to know when people say things like, I deserve, I'm like, really? You deserve to be in debt? Because I feel like I deserve to be debt free. I deserve to have a future. I deserve to not live paycheck to paycheck. I deserve to be able to have the margin to invest for my future, for my children. Like, people need to reframe when they say what they deserve or not. So that could be a place where you start. But in all good, calmed down advice, Ken and I kind of went off the spout there. You do need to sit down and you do need to have a conversation. And it needs to be an adult conversation, because right now, I mean, I'm not saying this in an insulting way, but he's in a selfish mode, and he's kind of in a for right now mode. And we need to get in a more futuristic, there's more ahead of us than just right now. There's more people that are feeling the effects of this than him. And so being able to have that conversation is going to be really important to you. And I have found that when you use language that's kind of like, hey, here's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid XYZ. Or here's what I'm so excited for. And if we could just get to this, that would give me so much joy. Like, if you can really find ways to bring your fears into it, but also like the things that would just cause you so much happiness and joy in life, those are big markers and should be big markers for the people who love you and care about you. They should want to hear about those things. And when you share those things, it should cause them to make a reaction. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes total sense.
What's your take-home pay?
Together, almost $200,000.
Okay, good. Good.
$200,000 take-home.
Yes.
Way to go.
Okay. So you look even at that kind of income. I mean, this is a huge chunk of your monthly budget. $1,400. It's massive. And the
our
truck
mortgage is $1,600.
Oh my gosh. And how long ago did he get the truck?
About 6 months ago.
And what did he pay for it?
I think it was like 85 or 90.
Oh my gosh, I'm lightheaded again. So 80 to 90,000. And you know what would be very interesting in this conversation, Jade? Tell me if I'm wrong here. But as I'm sharing those feelings of what that does to you and how that makes you feel, you've got to point out how that it'd be fun to get an amortization schedule like you would on a house, but on a car, it's hard to get that. But how much that car is devaluing.
Oh, it's going down like a rock.
And so he's paying
like
$1,400 a month on something. The difference with your house is that's an asset for you guys. The truck is a liability. And where that deserve statement comes in, it starts to lose its power when you start talking about what you could be doing with the $1,400.
Here's the thing. Ken makes a very, very good point. So you said you're bringing home $200,000 a year, right? So what, $16,000, almost $17,000 a month?
Yeah.
Where he's at, I'm going to tell you where he's going. We have almost $17,000 a month. $1,400, that's nothing. That's what he's thinking. It's a very small piece of that. By the way, your mortgages as well. But what I'm looking at is because you have so much income, there should be zero reason for debt. How easy would it be? And let me point this out too. Typically, do you have any other cars, by the way? Or is it just?
Yep, we have one more.
What else do you have?
We have a Ford Explorer.
And how much is that worth?
I believe around 40, but that's paid off.
Okay. So typically we wouldn't want you to have any more than half of your income yearly in vehicles because they go down in value. So you're right at that. I personally, because of your income, I'd be like, look, we make money. We can pay this off, or we can, you know what I'm saying? Like I think there's a way that you guys can meet in the middle. $1,400 a month, that is just a lot of money to be giving away in payments when you could be debt free. What other debt do you have?
Our house, and then I have a student loan.
How much is a student loan?
$20,000.
Yeah. So $100,000 in debt you guys have. You live on $200,000. You can pay all of this off in a year and everybody's happy.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Why not?
Yeah. Awesome.
That's what I would do. Because here's the thing. He does earn a lot of money. You guys do earn a lot of money. And he's probably like, I don't need to drive a jalopy. We earn $200,000 a year. And, then pay it off.
But he's taking out a loan on a truck.
Yeah, he should have paid cash for it.
Almost half of what they bring home. She said 80 to 90. She said somewhere between 80 to 90,000 he paid for that truck.
Yeah, it's expensive, but it's not more than half of their.
I understand, but
it's still expensive.
It's out of whack in that you got a loan for half of what you take home.
He shouldn't have got a loan. He should have paid cash. He's got so much money. They should have been. It would have felt so great to walk on that lot, buy it a couple of years used, so spend $20,000 less, and walk home with a car in cash.
I'll tell you what, $90,000 for a truck, that truck needs to power your entire house. I mean, you know what I mean? It needs to do the laundry. It needs to, I mean, yeah, put the kids to bed, the whole 9 yards. That's a lot of, it's just crazy when the value on that is just dropping and dropping, and they're upside down.
I wouldn't do it, but.
Yeah, I know. I know people do it. I mean, we got people on TikTok bragging about how they have joint car payments of $2,100. They're like,
I know, they're
like
crazy.
It's sort of fun. It's just like we're mind-numb robots.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't do it, but I would pay it off. If I were them.
That's what I got. All right. We'll be right back. This is the Ramsey Show.
It's a competitive home buying market, but there's a way you can get an edge. Churchill Mortgage works with you to understand your budget and your goals. And the Churchill Mortgage Home Buyer Edge offers you fast pre-approval and a secured interest rate. Plus, Churchill has bumped up their seller guarantee to $10,000, giving your offer the best chance of being accepted and helping you win in today's market. Go to churchillmortgage.com today to learn more.
Welcome back to the Ramsey Show, America. I'm Ken Coleman. I'm joined by Jade Warshaw, and we are here for you this hour. 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. Let's go to Kyle now, who joins us in Los Angeles. Kyle, how can we help?
Hi. I was just calling. I'm 27 years old, newly married since last October. I just have like $48,000 of student loans, and the federal loans are just about to start being unfrozen starting October. I just wondering, like, what would be the best way to basically start with payments and stuff. I wasn't sure if it would be something I could ask my wife, who can also help chip in, even though it's just my student loan, or is it something that I should pay on my own?
Well, tell us first what the actual minimum requirement is going to be when it picks back up. What is that number?
It's only like $300 a month.
And what other debt do you have?
I have one private, so it's split into two. My private started out being 42. It's down to 16.
Okay.
I've been paying that one since it wasn't ever frozen. And then my private one's like 32.5, or my federal, is 32.5.
I'm sorry. I thought you've got 16K in the private. You've got, I thought I heard you say, so 48 total.
Yeah, total.
Okay, total. I see. And what's the payment on the private loan?
Private, I've been paying like $1,000, but the minimum's $811 right now.
Yeah. So smallest to largest in your debt snowball, you're paying the private loan first to get that one paid off, the $16,000. Here's what, do you have the margin in your budget to pay the $300? And if so, what would that leave?
Yeah, so my wife just recently finished school as well and already paid off her loans, but
okay, hold on. Hold on, let's stop. Let's combine it. Let's talk about these numbers combined.
Okay.
So how much debt does your wife have?
None. She just finished.
Okay, just checking. And nothing else, right?
Nothing else. No credit card debt, no car loans or anything.
Okay, so combined income, once you start paying this $300 a month, do you have the money there, or do we need to find it?
No, I have the money. I was just saying, what would be, should I just finish off paying the private and then work on the federal?
I would.
Minimum.
What I would do in your situation is I would do the debt snowball, and I would do whatever you can throw to the smallest debt, which is the $16,000 debt. I would knock that out as quickly as possible. In my situation, I had a lot of student loans. I had more than you did, and I paid. I got lowered payments on the other one, so we'd have all the cash we could to throw on the smallest student loan, pay it off, and then keep doing it like that. So if you can cover the $300 payment, I wouldn't do that. But if you're having problems covering it, then that could be a strategy to free up a little bit more money to pay at the $16,000 debt.
Kyle, are you guys joint bank accounts, or are you guys doing things separate?
So we have our separate, and then we have our joint. The first year of marriage, she was still in school, and I just finished school and was working as a nurse. So I was paying for all the rent and utilities.
Yeah, I heard that, and I want my colleague back in on this, but I felt that and heard that, we have two separate bank accounts. We aren't we. And I think you guys need to understand our position on that. You guys need to be doing this together. There's a reason for that, Jade, and I think that this changes the questions that he should be asking, and I think it changes the math. Because we've been operating based on, this is what Kyle can put towards it, because they're not doing this together. Yeah,
you guys need to combine your income. I can't say it enough. Couples who combine their income, they build wealth faster. They're more likely to buy a home together. They're more likely to stay together across the long haul. There's so many statistics that back up combining your money. So I could go on and on about that. But practically right here in the here and now, you guys will pay off this debt so much faster.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So have that conversation tonight. Do you think that she'd be on board? It can't. By the way, for anybody listening, when we say combine your money, some folks try to do the workaround, kind of like what Kyle and them has done, where it's we do have an account that we pool some of our money.
That's so sweet.
But that's
That's not the real
That's
deal.
halfway. Yeah, that's not the real deal, Holyfield. So
how much money could you put towards if we do the debt snowball? So what I'm hearing is the smallest debt you have in the debt snowball is a $16,000 private loan, and your minimum's $800. You have personally been putting $1,000 on it, if I'm recalling everything right. How much could you two put on that $16,000? How much, if you do your budget, you go, we're going to take care of everything else, and then we're attacking this debt snowball, how much could you put on it together?
Together, $4,400.
Come
I
on.
had it paid off in 4 months.
let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I got one more question. I got a hunch, Jake.
Yeah.
What do you both have in savings? Do you have separate savings accounts? And
Come
if
on,
you do, what
detective.
do you got? I know, I'm digging.
We have our separate and together, and we each have so I just dropped my savings into the 1,000 emergency fund and put a $3,000 payment.
Good. How much does she have?
She has $1,450, and then together we have another
14 as in $1,450.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I thought you said.
All right, so
I was
we're
about to say
okay there.
14,000. Okay.
I didn't find too much there. I'm not much of a detective on that one, but
We're combining the money from now on.
$4,400.
Yes, you're gonna knock this thing out, and
That's
we
less
didn't
than
even
4
talk about
months.
side hustles.
That's right.
We didn't even
Yeah,
talk about that.
I've been working a lot of bonuses, which the incentives are really nice as a nurse.
Good.
So,
Extra hours. Yes.
Good for you, Kyle.
I get paid an extra $1,000 just for picking up a shift, and
That's
then
great.
time and a half on top. So
And
I've
let's
been
cast a
earning
little
extra
vision.
money.
Kyle, you're paying off the 16 in less than 4 months. And then the 48, that's about 10, that's less than 10 months.
Yeah.
Your life changes.
Yeah.
Flipping the script.
Did you hear the smile? I just heard it.
Oh, yeah. See, because you felt the hope. You saw, it seemed like there wasn't a way out. And then Ken so masterfully crafted, there's a way out. And you see it now. And I want you to go home and I want you to share that with your wife.
Yeah.
Because I want her on board with this. I want her helping. I want her going, okay, what can I do, Kyle? Do you want me to pick up some extra work? I want you guys on the same page. And I don't want you to think about it as this big sacrifice, okay? It is a sacrifice, but I want you to think about it as a trade. All right? You're trading a bad card for a really good card. You know what I'm saying? And when you frame it up like that, it's far more motivating than oh man, I'm going to have to go to work again. And oh man, we can't, go out to dinner and all these things. No, man, I'm trading this bad BJ Armstrong looking, worst player on the team for a Michael Jordan.
Wow,
Mint.
I like the Chicago Bulls reference. I'm so amazed.
No
right now.
Bill Cartwright. You know what I'm saying?
That's better. BJ was a good shooter.
No John Paxton.
No,
okay?
I got you.
Give me the Michael
I
Jordan
got you.
card.
How
That's
about
the
a
winning
Bill
card.
Winnington?
Stop.
Big old tall dude that can barely do anything. BJ, I got to give some love to BJ Armstrong.
But you know what we're saying, Kyle?
I do know what you're saying.
This is what we're talking about. You're getting the winning card. It's worth the trade. It's worth the effort. And these loans are going to be gone.
Gone. And then the emergency fund isn't far behind.
Okay, shoot
so
that
all
up.
of a sudden, we are rolling into baby step 3B, saving for that house.
Okay.
I'm just really curious. We've got about 30, 40 seconds with you. What's your combined income right now?
Combined, since she just finished school, I think together it'll be $110,000 to $120,000.
That's great.
And you're just getting started.
Just getting started.
Kyle, you guys, you got this.
Yes. And I need everybody to see, because there's a lot of Kyles out there. It was that simple. It was as easy as us looking at the budget, looking at the income, finding ways that we can earn more, and changing our mindset, framing up this whole situation to go, you know what, this benefits me. This is in my best favor. He's going to look back, and in, a year and a half, his loans are going to be gone, and everybody else is going to still be whining.
Yeah. And their income is only going to go up. They are going to be baby steps millionaires. The process works. Kyle, thanks for the call. Really excited for you. Get after it. Got to have a conversation with the missus. We got to get those bank accounts together, and then we're talking about exponential productivity. This is The Ramsey Show.
Well, you've all played the telephone game. The first person whispers a message to the second person, who whispers it to the third, and so on around the table until the original message has completely changed. Multiply that confusion by 100 if you run a business with different software systems that don't talk to each other. That's why there's NetSuite by Oracle. In the early days of Ramsey, we were using different systems for all of our business units. We needed one single source for accurate data. NetSuite was the software we used to optimize and take us to the next level. NetSuite gave us the visibility into all of our numbers so that we could communicate across departments and plan ahead better. And as we grew, it scaled with us. NetSuite worked for Ramsey, and it will make a difference for your business too. Join the more than 34,000 customers who trust NetSuite to help make them smarter and make better decisions and level up their operations. To learn more, get a free product tour at netsuite.com/Ramsey. That's netsuite.com/Ramsey.
Welcome back to the Ramsey Show, where we help you win with your money, your work, and your relationships. And you know, one of the things that is so fun about this gig is we get to hear amazing stories, whether it be the debt-free screams here on the debt-free stage in our lobby of Ramsey Solutions World Headquarters, or the comments of social media profiles, certainly our Baby Steps Facebook group. And so I thought it would be fun, Jade. By the way, Jade Warshaw, Ken Coleman with you. I'm sorry I did not tell you who's talking at you right now. We are Ramsey Personalities, and we're here together for you, 888-825-5225. Before we get back to the phones, there's some really fun comments from our Baby Steps Facebook group, great group of people. And these are the I had it moments, right? And they're sharing moments where they got to the point where they went, okay,
that's it.
What I've been doing isn't working. I'm not doing it anymore. Dave kind of made this I had it. Like, you get sick and tired of being sick and tired. And so we got a couple here. This one jumped out to me. This is from Robin. I would have panic attacks in line at the grocery store.
Woo!
Because I was terrified my card was going to decline. It was a miserable existence. I'm feeling that right here in my chest.
Me too. I love this. Haley Joe.
Yeah. Oh.
This one hit me. Having to ask your parents for money as an adult was my all-time low. Did it once, never again after that. Been there.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember early on in our marriage, Stacey and I brought not credit card debt, but we did have student loan debt, and we were paying it. There wasn't any moratorium back then. And we were both starting out. We weren't making much money.
Right.
And I think we were probably 5 or 6 months into marriage. We had an apartment in Richmond, Virginia, and we weren't on a budget. We were just two young kids.
Yeah, man.
And I remember taking her out to eat. And, you know, I mean, we're 6 months in.
Tell me what happened, Ken.
Well, you know what happened.
You went to pay for the steak, and they brought the card back?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, sir, but is there another card you would like us to run?
And we were so clueless. Stacey was like, well, it may be something wrong with this card. So she does the old, here, try my card.
The way your bank account was set up, though.
They go walking off, you know what I mean? And you're kind of in that moment going, is this a card problem? Or like,
you didn't even know, like you didn't know, hey, I know I don't have any money.
I'm owning it. We didn't know. We thought we were okay. We weren't budgeting, and we were just living life.
Man, I know
and
about
we didn't
that.
have much margin. And sure enough.
Were you so embarrassed?
Humiliated is the word.
Oh, mortified.
Not so much of what the waiter thought of us, but that we didn't know. And so I remember calling the bank and getting the lady on the phone because we didn't have it. Like, we got to pay the bill.
Oh, that's right. You can't. You're washing dishes otherwise.
Well, let me tell you something. We luckily came up with some cash. I had some cash in the car that like we were like
finding the change
Stacey
underneath
someone like, oh, I'm not even kidding. And I apologize. We didn't have enough to tip the waiter.
Ooh, Ken, yeah, that'll get your attention.
So I had to tell the waiter. I mean, the waiter was super cool.
Yeah.
And I said, I am not going to leave you hanging. And I went back about a week later and gave that dude some money. But like we had to pull from. It was so embarrassing.
Yeah.
It was right before paycheck. Oh, man. And we weren't paying attention. And that's when I was like, I don't ever want to be humiliated like that again.
I know that's right. That is
when you're looking at the waiter going, I got to come up with the money to pay my bill, or I may be in the back.
Okay,
rolling up the old sleeves,
washing the dishes.
Yeah, here, give me the macaroni plate. I'll get that. That's a true story.
That's a good story.
That was a wake-up call. I was like, oof. Now, this was all pre-Dave Ramsey. We didn't even know who he was. So we didn't discover him until, 2 or 3 years later.
Yeah.
But that was a wake-up call for us that we need to be budgeting and paying attention to what's going on. So
that's a good one. Wait, what about Rachel?
I'll be honest with you. I got a little anxiety.
Did you start feeling some type of way?
That story.
Well, look at this one. This one says, this kind of reminded me of you. She said, I saw my husband cry at a checkout because our card got declined and we had to put things back.
Oh, yeah. I wish I could have put my food back, but I had already eaten it. No, I didn't cry because my face was boiling. Do you know that kind of embarrassment where like you want to crawl under the table?
Yeah. Well, look at this. I want to read this last one because I have some thoughts on this. She said, when I finally wrote my debt down on paper one day out of the blue, the number absolutely terrified me. I didn't realize I was that far in debt. I didn't want to get stuck in that situation. That reminds me, Sam and I were just talking the other day. He was like, Jade, the day that I realized how much debt we had, we were staying at his mom's house in the upstairs bed. You know, when you're like in your old bedroom. That's when you've gone all the way down to the bottom, all right? You in your old bedroom.
Yeah, and you're your new wife. Hey, hi, this is my bedroom growing up.
Well, it was his sister's bedroom. That was even worse. So there's like flowers and stuff. So we're sitting in there and he pulls up, what do? You go to Credit Karma to see. And it was like, that was the first time we'd ever looked at a credit report to see it all listed. You want to talk about hyperventilation.
Freaked you out.
Man, what?
Because the numbers just kept adding up.
They just kept coming. Just more and more zeros.
Is that because I know your story, the big total. Is that when you found out the big total?
That was when, because I had been kind of pushing him to tell, like, how much is it? How much is it?
Tell people who don't know your story.
So started out, came out of college, newly married. I knew he had a lot of debt. I didn't know how much. And I knew Sam had alluded to the fact that he had a lot of student loan debt. I didn't, when you're that young, you don't know what a lot of money is.
He was so handsome and talented, you didn't care.
Oh, thank God the man is good looking. He's a snack. But let me tell you, when he he kept saying, yeah, I think it's around 130. I think it's around 150. I'm like, well, what is it? So I'm pushing on it. Finally, he logs in, looks at it. $280,000 of just student loan debt. Oof. The rest of it to total $460,000 of debt between credit cards, cars, everything else.
So that's a perfect segue for our next caller, I think. I'm just reading the board here. Let's see what Keith has got to say in Indianapolis. Keith, you're on the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Ken. Hey, Jay. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
You too, buddy. What's up?
Yes, so I am also recently married. Also within the last year, got a new job. Moved down here to Indy. I've done the math, and it looks like over the next 4 years, given my spouse is in dental school, we'll be able to cash flow about 3.5 of that. Just wanted your guys' take on that last half of the year where we would be depleting the cash. Would we take out the loan and then pay it off within, immediately start having a job, or try to rework the budget now and with this little bit of runway, try to make it to where we break even by then, or, dealing with a lot of, 5 years here, a lot of time pretty much. But
let me make sure I understood you correctly. So newly married, you both have new jobs. She's going to be a dentist. And
My apologies. Yes. I got a job. So household income's $80K with my job. She's starting dental school right now.
So she's not working. Okay.
Right.
And you have most of it saved up. We only got about a minute, so
we only have to pay half the school year, right?
Yeah, so we're saving money before now and then, obviously.
But real quickly, you said that you've got 3.5 years paid. Is that correct?
We will have 3.5 years paid. 3.5 years paid. Yeah.
How long is the program?
4 years.
Okay.
How much would you need to make up?
Right now we're under 17,000. Doing the math.
Don't take out a loan for $17,000.
What's going to prevent you from getting that $17,000 between now and 3.5 years from now?
Just having done the budget where we're zero based.
You're going to make more money between now and then. You're starting at $80K now. It's 3.5 years on down the road. You got a lot of road to make up that money.
Yes. Sell some stuff. Get a side job.
You've come so far. Don't go into debt at this point.
You've got to $17,000 between now and then, even with a little bit of margin and a whole lot of hustle. You can come up with that. You do not want to strap yourself with that debt. You're so close.
Very good.
I applaud you for having that much. Finish the job. Finish well. So excited for you, Keith. Thanks for the call. Don't move. More Ramsey Show coming up.
If you're like most people, your home is your most valuable asset. And when you want to make improvements, it can feel like everything costs too much or takes too long. But something as simple as custom window coverings from Blinds.com can completely change your space and add value to your home. We've recommended Blinds.com for over a decade, so you know you can trust them. From blinds, drapes, and shutters to motorized shades, they make it easy and affordable to upgrade your entire home, and their team is ready to help with everything from design consultation to measuring and installation. Plus, there are never any misleading quotes or hidden fees. Everything's backed by their 100% satisfaction guarantee, and shipping is always free. See why Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings. Go to Blinds.com now and save 40% off selected products. Visit Blinds.com today for more info.
Welcome back to the Ramsey Show. If you've been with us, Jade and I were talking about some I've had it moments for us, and certainly from the stories we get from you, our awesome, amazing audience. And if you'd like to share your I've had it moments, you can do that in our various social media accounts, the YouTube comments, Spotify comments. We'd love to hear your stories. They're inspiring. And we love to share them. So we're going to be doing that more and more on the show. So if you've got a great I've had it moment, share in all those places, and we'd love to share your story. All right, the phone number is 888-825-5225. Let's go to AJ, who's joining us now in Washington, D.C. AJ, how can we help?
Hi. Thanks for taking my call.
You bet.
Huge fans of you guys. I am calling because my wife and I are currently on baby step 3. We're about to move into step 3B/4. Mm-hmm. Our household income is $140K. The houses in our area are around the average $450K. And I'm curious to know if it's wise to buy a condo, which would be cheaper, or should we just save up for a single-family house? I'm asking because we're about to start trying for a baby soon, and the plan is to have my wife stay home while I work. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I'm not too sure if we can save up for a down payment, no less than 20%. No less than 20% for a down payment, and the mortgage be less than 25% of our income, or of my income, I guess.
So the 140K is that's the combined income. So if your wife, if your wife becomes a stay-at-home mom, what does that drop the income to?
So at the moment, it will be at the moment, $73K.
Okay.
But potentially it could bump up to 83.
Okay, so what I would do is when making the decision on what to spend with the home, I would use that budget. What the money that you would be taking in between $73,000 and $83,000, because you've said that, hey, this is probably what's going to take place. And what happens is if you buy your home based on $140,000 and she decides to stay home, you're going to feel strapped big time. Mm-hmm. So 25% of the take home pay based off of the $73,000 to $83,000 salary is what I would do. And if this is your first venture into real estate, I'm not mad with, a townhome that's 2 or 3 bedrooms, because here's the thing. When it comes to real estate, you buy when you can afford, not when the market says, not when, the economy says, when you can afford, and you buy what you can afford. You don't just buy, well, this, in my area, here's what they are. No, there's always a spectrum of price. And it may not, like you said, it may not be a single family home, but a townhouse may not be, a bad choice for you guys. So I'd probably start looking there. It sounds like you're, just by the language that you used, it sounds like you're pretty acclimated with what we teach here at Ramsey, but we've got a really great calculator to calculate how much home can you afford. And literally, if you type that in, how much home can I afford, Ramsey Solutions, that calculator will pop right up, and you can plug those numbers in and see exactly what you need to put aside.
Oh, and I can find that on the website?
Yeah, absolutely. Matter of fact, if they can get it up on the screen in time, we'll put it there for you. Or if maybe they'll put it in the show notes for you, but we'll make sure that you have that information because it's super, super helpful. There it is right there. You can put it in, figure out what's going on, and it'll help you out.
Yeah, absolutely. And have you guys, have you taken FPU? Have you done any of that yet?
We have. I think we have. We've kind of dragged it out. I mean, we listen to your show.
Sure.
But we've kind of dragged out the lessons. So I think we have 2 more lessons.
All right. Good. I was thinking of a baby gift. So maybe Total Money Makeover. I feel like we need to give.
Let's give them something.
Even though the baby's not there yet, it's kind of a exciting time, exciting season, getting ready to start a family. So hang on the line. We'll give you a copy of Dave Ramsey's Total Money Makeover. This is a great book just to, as you're listening, watching the show, you got a few lessons left in FPU, read a chapter a day, and then talk about it. Turn it into a discussion. And this is a great way to solidify this process, to really understand. And, like you said, you get it, but we don't want you getting it. We want you doing it because it's going to really set you guys up long term.
Yeah,
Let's go to Reading, Pennsylvania now. Howard is on the line. Howard, how can we help?
Hey, how you doing today?
Good. What's going on, sir?
So a number of years ago, when we were pregnant with my second child, my wife was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. And so we were concerned that in the future, our children, if they were to come down with something, they wouldn't be able to get life insurance. So we went ahead and got whole life policies for them. And I know you guys take on whole life insurance. I didn't know how you felt about this situation, knowing that the potential in the future that they could have something or have, to that extent that they wouldn't be eligible for life insurance. Would you keep them? Would you get rid of them? What would you do?
Well, I wouldn't do this. Here's why. When it comes to insurance, the purpose of insurance is to replace income. That's the whole purpose of it when it comes to life insurance. So, for instance, the policies that you have, whether the one you have or the one that your wife has, it's there so that if something happened to you, the people who depend on your income would be okay. So policies on kids doesn't really meet that criteria because they don't have an income and there's nothing that, is at risk at that point. And you would be better off if you were really concerned about them having medical problems. You'd be better off just investing money aside for them, in a brokerage account or something like that. If that was truly, truly a concern, which I wouldn't necessarily recommend that either. I think a lot of this is kind of based off of a fear. I'm not sure how irrational the fear. Only you would know that because you know their health situation.
Right. Well, it was when they were first born. So literally as they were born, we put whole life insurance policies on them, just to have insurance in place, because I know a lot of them are transferable later in life. So if you do come down with something, you can still add money to them without having medical exams and stuff like that.
Yeah, but whole life, it's life insurance, not medical insurance, number one. And number two, it's the worst possible life insurance. So I kind of feel like you're using the wrong product to solve a problem that may not even be a problem. It's kind of like I feel like you have in your mind what is a problem, and what you're telling me, I'm like, it doesn't sound like it's a problem. And then you're using the wrong method to solve the problem that doesn't even seem like it's really a problem. So
you would just cancel them at this point, or not?
I would cancel them. And if there's something that it's like, hey, you don't want to say it on the air, that's medical, going on with the medical wise, that you feel like you need to have a pile of money, let's just get with a SmartVestor Pro and figure out the best way that you're putting aside for their future. And I think that's a better way, because these whole life policies, it is the worst possible investment for your money. Okay? There's nothing worse out there. So I want you to know that. And like I said, if you do have a concern about needing a chunk of money for their health, there's better ways to do that with a SmartVestor Pro.
Yeah, absolutely. Get out of this product, Howard. There's so much better things you can do. And we really recommend that you visit RamseySolutions.com, click on SmartVestor Pro, find some of these folks in your area, have a conversation with them about it in detail. They can go in depth with you, and they'll help you do everything you need to do. But this is, I love your focus, though, and I love what you're trying to do. And I think you're going to find a much better strategy and that we teach. And so again, talk to a SmartVestor Pro in your area, come up with a plan, and move forward from there. It occurs to me that this month is almost over. It's hard to believe.
I can't believe it.
You know what I mean? Kids are back at school in the Southeast, certainly. And this is a big month for us. It's kind of like a secondary Christmas at Ramsey Solutions. And I want new audience members, current audience members to know about our cash giveaway. So all month long, we've been giving away cash. Weekly, we have a $500 prize, and then there's a grand prize of $3,000. And you can enter at RamseySolutions.com/giveaway. Go to RamseySolutions.com/giveaway. You can enter once a day, and no purchase necessary. You do have to be 18 years old to win. So go do that and win some of Dave's money. I mean, come on. Who doesn't like free cash? I know I do. Unfortunately,
you're ineligible.
I'm not eligible. This is The Ramsey Show.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jade. If you love the show and want a deeper dive on your money journey, we have a weekly newsletter that gives you trending and helpful articles and tips on following the Ramsey way. Just go to RamseySolutions.com today to sign up for our newsletter. Again, that's RamseySolutions.com to sign up for our weekly newsletter.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Potts Moving and Storage Studio, this is The Ramsey Show. It's where we help you win in your life with your money, your relationships, and your work. I'm Ken Coleman, joined by Jade Warshaw. 888-825-5225. That's the toll-free number for you to jump in. We'd love to take your call. Jade's here to answer your money questions. I'll weigh in. I'm here to answer any questions related to your work, making more money, experiencing more meaning so you're not tempted to go get a credit card to drown your sorrows on Friday after you've been just trying to make it through to the weekend. And Jade will weigh in on those topics as well. 888-825-5225. Let's go to St. Louis, Missouri. Kelly is joining us. Kelly, how can we help?
Hi, thanks for taking my call.
Sure, what's up?
The reason I'm calling is just wanted to let you know, like, me and my husband are in our 60s, and we're on baby step 7.
Wow.
And I just wanted to see what you would do. I work part-time, and he's getting ready to retire at the end of the year. And just wanted to see what you would do in this situation. So a year and a half ago, we helped our daughter purchase, we didn't help her. We purchased a house and used our savings to pay cash for her a house because she was going through divorce and was having trouble finding affordable housing. So so that they would be in a decent place, a decent housing. So we bought a single-family home, paid cash for it, and then now her divorce is finished, and she is getting some settlement from some property that they own together that they're dividing. Mm-hmm. And so she's interested in buying the house, and she wanted to know about buying it and what we was going to want for it. And so it went up in value, though, at least 10%. Mm-hmm. And so, and we've been renting it to her at a discounted value, like over less than half of what we could get on the fair market place, but it was just to help her out. But so she.
So what's your question, Kelly?
My question is, I feel like we should, we're wanting to give her a discount rather than fair market value, but she's.
How much did you pay for the house?
$234.
And what's it worth now?
$275.
$275.
And we told her we'd sell it for $259 to her only at a discount.
Okay, and can she afford that? And does
she's going to go see. She hasn't went and seen, but she thinks she can because she has a chunk to pay down. But she is appalled and surprised that we want to make money off of her.
Well, let me tell you what I heard, and I'm going to give you a unbiased answer. What I heard from your own words is we bought a house for our daughter.
Yeah.
But now what it sounds like is we didn't buy a house for our daughter. We bought a house that was a rental, and although we didn't charge her what we could get for rent, it's not her house. It's a house that we can earn money on. And I think based off of even what my confusion was, is if there was any indication from her that this was for her, even though she's not entitled to it, I think that's where the confusion is. Because she's not entitled to it. But if the communication on this was anything like this call, there's a lot of gray area for people to think, oh, well, I thought da-da-da-da-da. No, it's this. And that's what happens sometimes when you do these things for family. They get gray area really, really quickly.
I would feel the same way your daughter does if, in fact, it was communicated clearly that you guys were buying the house for her. You were going to go lock it up, and then she was going to buy it back from. I mean, was the understanding that she would buy it back from you?
No, I never thought she would be able to afford to buy it.
Okay. So this is
we were going to invest in the real estate market because we had our money just in the savings account. So I thought we was going to invest in the real estate market and it would grow while we're renting it to her. But I never thought she would be the buyer because I didn't think she could afford that.
So when you told her, well, let me do this. We're going to go one little step at a time.
Yeah.
Did you and your husband tell your daughter that you were buying that house for her? Yes or no?
For her family to live in, yes. To rent, yes.
To rent. So it was not her house. It was, we are buying a house that we're going to allow you to rent at a discount. That's what was communicated.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, now that's different.
That is different.
So now the question becomes,
but I'm not going to lie. I do have questions about how well that was communicated because it was not communicated here on the
Well, that's why I'm going back. Kelly, was that super clear to her?
Yes, it was super clear to me that she was going to pay.
That's where
to her. Yes, it was super clear to her that she was going to rent that, and that's what we were buying the house for them to live in, and they were going to pay rent to us.
Okay. And so now recently the conversation has shifted, and you guys, and so she's upset because she thinks that you should sell her the house for the exact amount of money that you put into it.
Yeah, because she's been paying us a discounted rent, and she thinks that should have been enough.
Well, she's probably feeling like, hey, I've put some money in. I've helped accumulate some of this equity because I've been paying the payment.
This is a tough one.
It's only a tough one. It's only a tough one because it's family, and when you do deals with family, folks don't put things in writing the way they should.
Yeah. Okay. Let me stipulate. The reason I think it's tough is because I feel like I'm going to be mean when I say this. But I don't think the daughter has any right to be upset about the sales price.
In this case,
she's already been given a discount by her mom and dad, which is very generous.
Well, it depends on how, again, we're talking about, because she could call, Kelly, you're the one who called in, but your daughter could call in and say this in a totally different way.
I believe Kelly's telling the truth. And in that situation, I don't think your daughter has any right to be upset about it.
I would just tell her, I would say, you know what?
This is the price.
This is messy and it's not worth the relationship. Go out
and buy your own house.
That you love, that you can afford.
That's what I think.
That's what I would like to see. Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
because Kelly, and just to be clear, I believe
there's none available. There's none other was available. So this is she's.
Well, here's the other question: do you think, as her mama, that she's going to be really upset if you tell her that? She's already upset about the sales price. Is she going to be really, really upset when you go, you know what? I think it's probably better that you just go find your own house and we not have tension over this. Is that going to be a bigger issue?
Well, we already had that conversation last week, and I said, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
What'd she say?
You can go buy something else and that you can afford. I want you to be able to afford it. And so, but she got to look, and there is nothing.
There's got to be
something
something
in her area, in her price range, that she can afford.
Well,
the housing market's so tight.
Well, she could buy something smaller then.
There's always something.
It's not an apples to apples.
And she might have to go slightly outside of her neighborhood.
I guess where I was going is if this is going to be a big, big issue, and I'm thinking about it, if this was my girl, I'd go, all right, I'll sell you the house for the number you want so that we're all getting along.
I might.
Okay.
I know I'm all over the place, but I'm like, it's not that much money. It's not that big of a difference to have to deal with that. It's just such an icky situation.
It's an icky situation.
I'm not going to lose my daughter.
Yeah. They're baby step 7. They can eat the $20,000.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not going to lose my daughter even for 6 months over that amount of money. I'm going to walk away and be the adult here.
Yeah.
Literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm going with. Oh boy. Jade will tell me if I'm right or wrong in the break. This is The Ramsey Show. Welcome back to The Ramsey Show. I'm Ken Coleman. I'm joined by the incomparable, the fabulous Jade Warshaw, ladies and gentlemen. 888-825-5225. 888-825-5225. Time for our question of the day. The question of the day is sponsored by Neighborly, your hub for home services. After fires or floods, their Rainbow Restoration Pros offer homeowners trusted full-service restoration expertise like mold remediation, carpet cleaning, odor removal, and more. Visit neighborly.com today to find Rainbow Restoration Services in your area.
Very cool. All right, today's question comes from Ashley in Ohio. She says, my husband's company gives a 3% match on any dollar amount with no limit. However, it is in a traditional 401k, not a Roth. Okay. I know the rule is to do the match, then Roth IRA. I just don't know what to do when there is not a limit to his match. Do we just put 15% in his 401k, or do we limit it and somehow put some in the Roth? He's 31, I'm 28. There is a limit. My husband's company gives a 3% match on any dollar amount. Well, there's a limit because there's a limit to your 401k. That's number one. So we're investing up until that limit that you're getting 3% on. Does that make sense? And then we're moving on to the Roth because this is a better situation for you long term because you'll be able to take the money out of that without taxes after retirement. And then once you max out that Roth IRA, if you wanted to come back and do your traditional and fill it up to the rest of the limit, you could do that. Hopefully I made that make sense.
Yeah.
Did I cover that, Ken?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think she's thinking that the 3% is like goes on forever.
Right.
But it doesn't because your 401k has a limit. So I want to make sure I answered that clearly.
Well, you're looking at me.
Okay.
I'm not going to correct
I just want to make sure, did I not miss something? But I guess when I think about it,
it's confusing for folks.
It could be confusing. Yeah. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, you clarified it. It's the 15%, and here's how we get to the 15%, and then here's your options that get you to the 15%.
That's right.
And that's what you laid out.
That's right. So each year there's a limit on what you can put into that. And I think this year it was $22,500 or something like that.
Right, yeah.
And then with your Roth IRA, there's a limit. So it's 3%. So there we go. That's
all
enough.
right. Good stuff. All right. Thank you for the question. 888-825-5225 is the number. Let's go to Victor, who joins us now in Hartford, Connecticut. Victor, how can we help?
Hi. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
My wife and I, we got married about 8 years ago, and we're really good at saving, but not very good at investing, I guess. So currently we have about $250,000 in savings, and we thought we'd splurge on a new car, and we got a car loan for about $59,000, and the loan is for 5 years, 5 years at 5%.
Victor, how long have you been listening to this show?
I've discovered you about, I guess, 2 years ago, but I don't listen regularly.
All right, Victor, do you know what our position is on taking out loans for anything, much less a car?
Don't do it.
Don't do it. And my friend, you've got the $250 in the bank.
But no, because I'm shook to my core that you're spending $60,000 on a car. I just need to know your income, and maybe my shooked nature will go away, but tell me how much your income is.
Well, it's grown substantially in recent years, but this year we're on track to make about 175.
No,
combined.
Okay, 175 combined. Yeah, I can't. How much is what's your wife's car worth?
The worth of the car is, I believe.
What'd you pay? Yeah, what'd you pay for it?
64.
No,
just over 64.
You guys are tripping. You're tripping, slipping, and dipping. You got two $60,000 cars?
No. Oh, sorry. I misunderstood your question.
Yeah.
No. This is the car that we got.
This is just the new purchase. And do you have any other debt?
I know, but I want to know how many cars they have and what they're worth total.
All right, so answer Jade's question, because she says you're tripping, slipping, and dipping. I think that's how that went.
That is correct.
What is the other car that you have? And we know it's paid for.
We have a roughly $15,000 car.
Okay. So the $60,000. The $60,000 car and the $15,000 car, that's $75,000.
I know it's high. I know it's high. But they got the cash. So before I even get to that part, I'm like, why would you take out a loan for a car? And Jade's going to get you to, this is the kind of car you should be buying based on the ratios. But why in the world, before we get to that, why would you take out a loan when you have no other debt and you got all kinds of cash in the bank? I want to understand your philosophy.
I don't think I mean, I don't know if it's a good philosophy or not, but we, our bank where we keep our savings approached us with an offer to invest in a brokerage account. So I don't know if a brokerage account with that's going to net us more revenue to offset the percentage on the car loan.
That was your reasoning.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
It makes no sense to me at all. Zero sense.
Okay.
What he's thinking is he's like, well, it's 5% on my car.
I know what he's thinking. He's looking at the percentages of interest instead of real dollars, which is a car payment of what? What's your car payment on this thing?
Well, real dollars, the real cost of the loan is going to be $8,000 over 5 years.
That's not what I asked you. So you're already playing games.
You're playing.
Oh, no. Okay.
What is your car payment?
Per month, it's going to be around $1,100.
That is just mind-numbingly stupid.
Yeah, it's so much money. It's just so much money. And here's the thing: you don't have to play these games. You know, you're making $175,000. You're both working. You can pay for things in cash. This car, I'm guessing, was brand spanking new, right?
Correct.
You're already upside down.
Yeah. How much could you have saved by just getting a year used, 2 years used, right? Probably $20,000. Like this, it's not worth it for me. I have a feeling that you're going to do what you want to do because your game makes sense to you, and that's okay. I would tell you to sell this car. I think it's extravagant for where you're at. You could pay it off in 2 seconds and keep it. I'm not mad at you if you did. I think you have way too much money in savings. You said it was savings, but then you said it was a brokerage account. So I want to make sure, is it invested money?
No, it's not invested yet. That's why I'm calling to ask to see if it's a good idea to go into a brokerage account.
No,
for that kind of money.
Okay, so I'm just going to briefly, and this is not just for you, for anyone listening. Here's how we teach. It's a series of steps, and I think that if you filter it through this, it's going to help you. All right, in your case, do you have any other debt besides these cars?
I put him on hold. I thought you were running.
That's okay. That's okay. If you have any other debt besides these cars, we would take any money that you have saved, less $1,000, and throw it at your debt. So in your case, we'd pay off every single penny of debt. That's baby step 2.
And by the way, he has no other debt but this new car.
Sweet. Yeah, pay it off. And then you've got plenty of money. We would keep 3 to 6 months of expenses set aside. You could keep it in a high yield savings account, but not non-invested money that it's liquid. You can get to it easily. That's baby step 3. Baby step 4 is we would start investing 15% of your income every month into either your 401k or a Roth IRA, okay? That's next. Then, you could save for your kids' college if you wanted to, and then you would use any money left over that you just have cash sitting around or that's in your income. You can throw that at your home mortgage to pay it off early. So you've got a lot of money sitting around. Some of it is your 3 to 6 month emergency fund to be liquid. Some of it's going to go to pay off this car. And then whatever it's left, if you have a mortgage, dude, throw it at your mortgage. I don't think I'm going to be able to convince you to do that because our minds work in different ways. But that's really the way to do it. That's the fastest, safest, most secure way to build wealth. And I'm not just saying that as a talking head. We've done the studies. It's true. Millions of people have done it this way. So that's all I can tell you. And that's all I'm going to tell you.
That's all you can do. Good stuff. Thank you for the call. Hope you figure it out. We're here to walk it through with you. This is The Ramsey Show. Welcome back to The Ramsey Show, America. We're thrilled that you're with us. I'm Ken Coleman. I'm joined by my colleague, Jade Warshaw. The phone number for you to jump in is 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. Let's go to Chicago, where Robert joins us. Robert, you're on The Ramsey Show.
Hi, Ken.
Hi, Robert.
Jade.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, I'm in big financial trouble where we owe over $1 million all in together, including mortgage. And yeah.
Let's break it down.
About your $462 is the mortgage, $96,000 student loan,
federal?
$42,000 car.
Is that student loan federal?
No. It's with Earnest. I've been paying it back for a couple of years at this point.
Okay. How much was the car?
And the car is 42, and the car is going. I already decided that.
Okay, good.
We're going to get rid of it. Probably will spend $1,000 to $12,000 on it, but it is what it is.
That's fine. It's still going down.
The rest is installment and credit cards, and our income is.
Wait, hold on a second. $462,000 in the mortgage, $96,000 in private student loans, $42,000 is the car. Run the rest because there's still a good deal left. Is it all credit cards? What is it?
Installment loans and credit cards.
Like private loans. So give me the numbers.
Yes, I do have $50,000 like a solar panel loan as well.
Solar panels. What else? Yeah. What's in the credit cards? What's in the personal loans?
Personal loans, everything together is approximately $225,000. Yes.
Who do you owe that to? What persons?
Oh, your favorite SoFi.
SoFi.
And Lightstream and Upstart and
so
a couple of loans.
And then there's some credit cards in there too.
So here's the thing. I've been trying to be smart and didn't quite work out. I was in a position where I could lend money to guys who need it and make profit on it. So I would throw money on a card or get the installment loan, and then they pay me back, and it's been making some profit on it.
So you're taking out the debt for other folks.
Right now, one guy stopped paying, and it's so much stress. I'm done with it.
How much money do you make?
I would make $20,000 to $30,000 a year net after all the costs.
Did you say you make $20,000 to $30,000 a year?
Yes, net after all the costs.
Oh, my friend, you're not in position.
From the loaning money.
No. I want to know
what
for
is
your job.
Income?
The income is about $10,000 a month.
Okay.
No. Is that your personal take home in your salary?
Yes,
your job is $10,000.
My wife's $10,000 a month.
Okay.
So it's like $9,800.
Oh my gosh, you were in no position to be taking out loans for other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could spend a lot of time telling you the ridiculousness of all of it. I mean, it's one thing to take out debt for yourself. It's another thing to take out debt like some kind of a loan shark and loan it to other people. You know that. I think that you feel the weight of that. I think you know. I hope that you know.
I do.
Oh, I think that you do. Okay. Is it just you? Do you have a family? Tell me more.
No, it's the full family. It's my wife. She's sitting right next to me here.
Kids?
We have 3 kids.
Okay. All right. So
we have a full house.
Are you both working?
Yes, she's working. Her hours are a little bit irregular. So.
And does that $10K involve what she's bringing in?
Yes.
Okay. I need her to work 40 hours a week. Not irregular. I need her to pick up something that is just as solid as what you're doing. And then after she does that, and this applies to you too, you're both getting side jobs. You guys are about to work your booties off. You have to. There's no other way, okay? So you already said that you're getting rid of the car. You're going to take a $10K loss. That's fine. You're still getting out of $32,000 of debt. That's great. Solar panels. How is this? Is there any way to get out of it? Are you able to sell them? Have you looked into anything?
They essentially replace my utility bill. That's what it is.
Right, but can you get out of them? Can you sell them?
Probably at a loss.
Well, we're getting out of debt, so...
I'm sure it would be $10,000 to $15,000 loss, if not more.
Yeah, but you're also... You're not thinking about the debt that's gone. So getting that down to $15,000 that you owe is better than $50,000, right?
Yeah, just getting rid of the car and the solar panels, if you can do it, is going to give you some more room to be able to start really going after these other big debts.
So here is really the question I'm calling with. I honestly, we would need to increase our income by about $5,000 a month.
Yep.
To be able to bulk those payments.
Yeah, you're going to have to get your income
after getting rid of the car and everything.
So what's your question?
And we're honestly, if I will float them, credit cards will soon start charging because the balances are like on zero balance promotion and so on.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting to get a bigger payout next year in August, September.
For what?
Pretty much, it's money that's owed to me.
No, we're not waiting till August. It's great that you have money coming, but we can't wait or depend on that as the solution because as you've seen before, sometimes folks don't pay. So we've got to start today. What's your what are you paying every month for your home?
It's about $3,200. That includes mortgage, taxes, insurance.
Okay, $10K a month. Are you guys on a budget? I need to know how deeply you've gotten into this.
We started a budget. We're really cut our spending significantly, and we have a budget ready for September.
Okay, I need it down to Here's the thing. There's no breathing room here. We got to go, and we got to go like our life depends on it, because yours really does. Wife is working. We're starting that process to get her full-time tomorrow, okay? You guys pick up side hustles. I don't care what it is. Any money right now is going to be so helpful for you. I'm looking at ways to get rid of the car instantly. Sell off these solar panels if you can instantly. I'm looking for ways to do anything I can. I'm looking at your mortgage, to be honest with you, and I want to know when did you get this house? Did you get it recently, or have you had it for a while?
2 years ago. 2 years ago.
What's it worth?
And what's the interest on it?
Probably it's under 3%.
And what's it worth?
It's 600. We could probably walk away with.
How much equity do you have in it?
650 and get 120,000, 130,000 equity in it.
How much?
120 or 30.
120, 130. We put 20% down.
My friend,
I would be scorched earth. Now, I would, if it were me, I'd be selling the house, and we would be getting a place that is, the kids are kids. They'll be fine. I'd put them all in one room. I would be going bananas on this to take that 130, put it towards this debt, get you some breathing room. Your life is going to be so much better, so much faster. This house is just as big a problem in my mind as everything else. It's too much of their income.
It all is.
I'd get out of it now. That's what I would do. And I'd rent.
Yeah. You need every dime that you can get, and I'm not going to make any bones about it. All of it's going to suck. It's not going to be fun.
Well, his life sucks already.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, this is going to be one of those seasons where it's like, wow, you're going to feel the gravity of the decisions that you made. But the good news is you can course correct, and you can right this ship, and you can make it happen, and you're going to make it happen. But it's not going to happen if you don't do the things that Ken and I told you today. Starting today, don't leave anything out. Don't try to skirt the process. Do it.
Hang on the line, Robert. I want to do a couple things, Austin, for Robert. So, Robert, hang on the line. Number one, I want to get you in Ramsey's #1 flagship product, Financial Peace University. We're going to give you every dollar as well, the #1 budgeting tool in the world. And I'm going to set you up with a one session with one of our financial coaches.
Yes.
This is the Ramsey Show. Hang on the line. Welcome back to the Ramsey Show. I'm Ken Coleman. I'm joined by my good friend and colleague, Jade Warshaw. We're here for you. 888-825-5225 is the phone number. Our scripture and quote of the day are Galatians 6:9. Our scripture, let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. And our quote from Mark Twain, do the right thing. It will gratify some people and astonish the rest. I think if he were alive today, he might also say, it'll piss off a whole lot of people too. There you go. All right, back to the phones we go. Richard joins us now in Providence, Rhode Island. Richard, how can we help?
Hi, how's it going today?
Good. How are you, sir?
I'm great. So I'm great now that I get to talk to you guys. I just started listening to the Dave Ramsey Show a few weeks ago, and because of it, I've already started to make some changes. But
good.
I'm in a lot of debt. Throughout my 20s, I pretty much mismanaged my finances, mismanaged my life, put myself in a car loan that I had no business being in. I got a lot of student loans, and I have a lot of credit card debt as well.
How much?
So with my credit cards, I owed $12,000. But after I entered into a debt consolidation plan, but after watching a Dave Ramsey video, I decided to exit right out of that.
Good.
So since then, I've been consolidating my own loans. I've been trying to negotiate with them to get them paid off. So out of my 5 credit cards that I owe, I paid off 3 of them already.
Very good.
So give us your total. Walk Jade through your total debt. Give us the numbers and assign it. What do you got?
Okay. So I have $7,000 in credit card debt between my 2 cards. I have $15,000 left on my car, and I have $33,000 in student loans.
Good. Okay. And
What
what's
do you
your
earn?
income?
I make $47,800 for my 9 to 5 job, and then on the weekends I make another maybe $10,000 a year. So I pull in about $3,800 a month.
Okay.
$3,800 a month.
What's the car worth? Do you know?
I Kelly Blue booked it about a week ago, and it's worth about $20,000.
Okay. And you're how old?
I'm 30.
Are you single?
Yes.
Okay. What's your rent situation or mortgage? Do you have a home or are you renting?
I live with my parents, so I don't pay anything.
Okay.
But that's my problem. I'm dying to move out here.
Yeah.
It hurts my self-esteem
I was going
every
to say.
day.
Wait, how old are you?
And
He's 30.
I'm 30 years old.
Okay, yeah.
You're a grown man. It's
You're
time
trying
for
to
you
get out.
leave.
Look, yes, and let's
Yeah.
make that happen. You have no money saved, I'm assuming.
I have no money saved. I don't have any retirement either, and that kills me as well. I really want to get started on a retirement and a savings, but as I learned from Dave Ramsey,
Right, we got to
only
do it
keep
right.
$1,000 in a savings. And
You got
it's time to do the snowball.
You dating anybody or is it you just kind of batching it right now?
So I was a serial dater not too long ago, and that was costing me a whole lot of money.
I knew that was coming next.
And I decided to cut that off completely.
Because that whining and dining, that credit card bill was going up.
Yeah, so Jade's going to walk you through this. She's going to walk you through the baby steps and walk you through financially, but I want to say this really quick before I turn you over. She's going to help you, but I'm going to push you. You're single. Okay. You are no longer ready to mingle. You need to be working 60, 70, dare I say, a week or two of the month, 80 hours a week, because you're actually closer than you realize with what Jay's going to walk you through. But you've got to increase your income, man. And you increase your income in today's economy right now where you can get gig work. You need to be that little side hustle that's only making you about $10,000 a year. That's not enough.
Yeah.
You need to be bringing in way more money. So I'm going to tell you that.
Okay.
What's your car note?
My car note is about $432 a month.
All right. Here's what move number one. Yep. Move number one is I want you to save $1,000. That's baby step one. As quickly as you can. Most people get it in 30 days or less, okay? So that's selling stuff, that's looking around your apartment, selling anything you can sell, whatever you can do to get that $1,000 fast. I want you to get it in under 30 days. So that's A1, okay? Right after that, I'm trading that car in. I'm selling my $15,000 car for $20,000, and I'm taking the $5,000 and I'm buying a car in cash. All right. Okay. So you're freeing up $432 a month. Then after that, I'm going to take that next thing and I'm going to get as much money as I can. I'm going to pay off these $7,000 of credit cards. You said it's 2. How much is the smallest one?
It's $3,000.
Okay, $3,000. So
with the $432 a month that you just saved off of selling that car, you know how quick you knock out $3,000? Fast.
Because he's got more margin too, because he's working like a madman.
Yeah, I love that.
Do you see how this works? Do you see where we're going with this?
Yeah, I definitely do.
So my guess is, let's see, once we get that $432 cleared up, how much extra could you feasibly have in your budget if you worked like crazy?
So like I said, I get paid biweekly and then weekly from the weekend hustle.
Uh-huh.
So I would say without the 432, well, I'm getting.
What do you have extra right now? What do you have extra right now? Like if you cut down your budget, you cut down what you're spending, how much could you find extra after all your bills are paid?
Most of what I make actually, because I don't really go out much. So I would say I probably still have at least $3,000 left over. I don't have many bills.
Okay, you'd have $3,000 left over plus the $432. That's $3,432. Boo, that credit card is knocked out instantly almost. Yes. You're going to have your credit card debt done in 2 months, but you're also going to get more work, right? And so now we're moving on to the $33,000 in student loan debt. You can have that done in 10 months, less, 8 months.
Yeah, understood. And then I can move out, right?
Yes. Then you can move on.
I would tell you this. I think you can move out in the middle of everything Jay just gave you, but this is after we knock out the credit card and the car. You got to have enough margin for rent, but if you're willing to get a roommate, maybe that's a good situation. I wouldn't wait till the $33,000 student loan if you increase your income. Mm-hmm. So that's why I was getting after you about, I know you want to leave the nest, and that's the right move.
That's right.
But you have got to increase your income, and you can do that. You can go out on your own, live. But I mean, you're you're rice and beans, and Jade's really good at creating lots of dishes with rices and beans.
That's true.
She is.
Yeah, get yourself a roommate. You know, if you don't want to spend another, because I think you can be done with this within the year. If you're like, I can't take another moment at my parents' house, I don't blame you. If I was you, I'd be trying to get out too. Just know it's going to elongate this process a little bit more, which is okay. Yeah. I'm fine with elongating the process as long as we know exactly what the goal is, and we're still going hard to get there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm not, as Jade would say, I'm not mad at you on that if you stay with mom and dad a little bit longer, but I think you could do both. And I actually think you getting out on your own may give you a little bit more fire to get this stuff done. But you can knock this out quick. But, bro, are you okay having a $5,000 car? I don't care if you are or not, but I want to know if you are okay. Because that's
a step. I don't miss going to the mechanic all the time. I will say that. I like the security of having a new car. I didn't want to pay it off and then have the next car for the next 10 years, because it's only $60K on the dash. But
yeah, but you know how much security you're going to have when you have none of this debt?
Mm-hmm. And you're going to be able to, you're not going to be in that $5K car for long. Because you're going to be, again, you're going to be out of debt in under a year, and you're going to stack up some more, put it, get rid of the $5K car, and then you're going to go up to a $10,000 car. Then you're going to go up to a $15,000 car. You see what I'm saying? This is how that works.
But you know what? On the $15,000 car, he doesn't have to sell it. He's not in an emergency situation. So if you're willing to bust it,
if you're willing to bust it,
what do you think about that, Jade?
Here's my thing: if you decide to move out, you need to sell the car.
I agree.
If you decide to stay at home, you've still got a decent sized shovel. That's the way I would play it.
Can I tell you both about my living situation that I might have set up?
Really quick, because we got 60 seconds.
Okay. So my parents own a second property, and it's a whole entire house, and they want me to move in and pay $1,400 a month.
Get a roommate.
For the property as rent. Right.
I don't like $1,400 with what you make, but I like $700 if you get a roommate.
Will they let you have a roommate?
Yeah, they will. Actually, I wanted to get my brother in the house, so.
Okay.
Dude.
Yeah, let's go.
I like it at $700. I don't like it at $1,400. Agree?
Yes, agree. $700 is the move, and sell the car, because your brother's there. If your car breaks down, you can use his.
I like where your head's at, Jade. I like that. And by the way, you said something that's key for people that are going, man, Jade was a little harsh on that. No, this motivates you to get out of this so we can get a $15,000 car cash, and so that's the whole point of all this. So we want to get you free of the stuff that shackles you down. Good stuff. Good hour, Jade. As always fun being with you, my friend. I want to thank James Childs and the crew for keeping us on the air. We want to thank you, America. This is your show. This is The Ramsey Show. Hey folks, Ken Coleman here. Did you know The Ramsey Show is one of the most popular podcasts in the world? Get your daily dose of advice on life and money. Check out all of our shows from The Ramsey Network wherever you listen to podcasts.